Good morning, Raiders. The week is finally over. It was great to see all the kids back. We still have some sickness out there. We still have some teachers that are recovering. And as you saw my email yesterday, the latest and greatest restrictions if you get COVID or if you are a close contact. Um, and this thing is obviously something that's real and it's going around very fast and spreading very fast. I see it all over my Facebook pages of people coming down with COVID lately. Uh, so please keep everybody in their prayers that they recover completely. We're almost to the end of the second quarter, so report cards will be going out soon. They'll be available online. If you need a printed copy, we obviously will print you a copy of that. We're finishing up our first winter season of boys basketball and girls cheerleading. We have about a week left of that. This Saturday, the girls cheerleaders have a showcase at Lutheran Westland, and then next Saturday is our boys basketball tournament. And then girls basketball, hopefully we'll have enough for JV, which is usually 5th and 6th grade, and varsity 7th and 8th grade. We'll start shortly after that. And then after that, we'll have track, co-ed track for usually 4th, 5th grade through 8th grade, and then co-ed softball. Usually we start with 7th and 8th and then dip down if we need to. The one last thing that Pastor and I are trying to do is working with Lutheran Westland is to have a grade school wrestling clinic. We don't know how that's going to look yet or anything like that, but that's something that we've had at St. Matthew for many years. Is a great wrestling team that was able to send many good wrestlers, myself included, to Lutheran High. So we're looking to return that to St. Matthew, and we'll give you more information about that. It is, January. It is cold out. Luckily, it hasn't been too cold out, but I always say this time of the year is time for conflict sometimes, because we're trapped inside. We are not seeing the sun as much as we want to, and we can't even enjoy the outdoors because it's freezing cold outside. And that sometimes our stress level increases, and we get angry very easily and be able to have conflict where usually we don't have conflict. And this can happen with us as adults, but most definitely can happen with the kids at different times. If your child is having a conflict or you're having a conflict, we look at Matthew, to the book of Matthew, of how to deal with that, and it talks about going to that person that you're having a conflict and trying to resolve it. And if that doesn't happen, bringing somebody else into it, like a teacher or maybe another parent, to try to fix it, and so forth. And then sometimes you have to get to a point where you just agree to disagree. As long as we're respecting each other, and being nice to each other, we don't necessarily have to be best friends with everybody, and that's okay if we're not. But we have to be respectful and be nice to each other, and it's a good tool for us as parents to remember, that our kids look at how do we resolve conflict, and they mimic that same way. And if your child is having conflict, talk with them and work with them about different ways to maybe sometimes just brush it off their shoulders. Maybe it's to take a separation of time before you come back to that person, and be able to deal with it. There's many different ways, and teachers are here to help too if your child's having any conflict. And if you as parents are having conflict, we are here to help too. Pastor and I would love to sit down and chat. Now this video is way too long for one of my announcements, but I'm glad it's Friday. For the kids that are sick and the teachers that are sick, please get better soon, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday, because no school on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I highly suggest parents that you take the day. I know some of you probably still have to work, but if you can, take some time and talk to your child about Martin Luther King Jr. and all the hard work that he did to try to end conflict as well, and resolve conflict, and have a bright future for all kids, and his kids and our kids and every kid. And the one last, I always like this tidbit. The I Have a Dream speech that he did in Washington, D.C. was actually started here in Detroit. He did a version of it first right here in Detroit before he did the Washington, D.C. speech. So now you know. So with that, have a blessed day and a great weekend. Talk to you guys later.